Hello, how you guys doing? What's going on? Welcome to the Messy Sweet Spot. We are here to talk about Shannon Sharpe. If you guys didn't hear the news, Shannon Sharpe is being sued for over $50 million. That is huge. If you guys don't know who Shannon Sharpe is, he is a legend in the NFL and he also does podcasts. Do you guys remember Cat Williams? Cat Williams came out and he exposed Diddy. He said, hey, he have to tell Diddy no. Well, Shannon Sharpe, he was the one that was hosting that interview. He was the host on that interview. And now his girlfriend is coming out and saying that Shannon Sharpe is not who you guys think he is. And it's so interesting because late last night, Shannon Sharpe, he was on his live stream with his friends and he goes, um, let me give you guys a backstory. Okay, can you guys hear me? All right. So if you guys can hear me, just please press one just so I can make sure you guys hear me. I see Kimmy. I'm going to have Kimmy come up here to help me do this case. And I really appreciate you, Kimmy, for coming up here. But Tracy Ellis, Diana Ross' daughter, she did an interview with Michelle Obama on her podcast, and they were talking about how Tracy, she didn't have any kids, and she hasn't married, and now she has an interest for younger men. And it's this whole debate, okay, black women, they can have an interest in younger men, but when an older man want to have an interest in younger girls, it's an issue. So Shannon Sharpe, he brung it to his podcast to talk about it. Now, what came out of Shannon Sharpe mouth verbatim was, see, you guys have a problem when I'm dating younger men. Okay. And the men on the platform, they just like pause. They didn't say pause, but they paused. And he was like, what I do wrong? What did I say? What I say? And they was like, yeah, you said you like younger men. And so he was like, well, y'all know what I mean, not what I mean. He was so nervous. And people are saying the truth is finally coming out. If you guys did not know, previously, there's always been zesty rumors around Shannon Sharpe from the style that he dresses. People are saying the pants that he have on is very tight. It gives very muscle, feminine, zesty energy. And if you guys know about the gym, it's a lot of zesty men that goes to the gym that's really into other men working out. They're building muscle, but it's not to fight a war. They're building muscle, but it's not to attract women. It's to attract other men. And there's nothing wrong with that. But people feel like Shannon Sharpe is just not being honest. But it's his prerogative. I mean, we are in a Trump administration, and some people feel like it's best just to keep your affairs private. However, he has denied those rumors that he is gay or zesty. I'm sorry. You guys know you can't even say the GA on YouTube because of the restrictions. So I substituted with zesty. And it was another, it's always been stories about him being zesty with his stylist, Hollywood. You know, his Hollywood stylist is openly zesty. And he picked Hollywood to be his stylist. And he was treating Hollywood very exceptional. I mean, very special. Having him the front row of the NBA, NFL. I mean, he was giving him very special treatment, and people realized that. And Shannon Sharpe said, "There's nothing wrong with me having a close gay friend, you know, that's out in Hollywood." He's very feminine. And Hollywood has a reputation of dating NFL players, and that falls into his type. I mean, Shannon Sharpe is Hollywood type. When you look at Hollywood, the stylist, past NFL players, and usually the guys that he date is the guys that he worked with. They mix business with pleasure. So it's no surprise that people put these thoughts together and was like, what's really going on here? And another thing, it was a scandal with Shannon Sharpe, stylist Hollywood with his ex-boyfriend, which is an NFL player. His ex-boyfriend was an NFL player. He was down low. And I guess Hollywood had an issue with him continuously to be on a down low. So he kind of, people feel like he exposed them because it was another rumor. Hollywood was in a relationship with this NFL player. This NFL player told the world he's straight, and people saw him with Hollywood and they were like, "Are you gay?" They pushed gay rumors, and the NFL denied Hollywood, and Hollywood got offended that he would deny him. And Hollywood say, "Honey, I don't play those games. You better tell these people the truth." Okay. And I just think, like, a man is down low, he identifies as straight. If that's not what you want, stop getting in bed with him, and getting surprised when he don't feel comfortable coming out. You have to, if you meet a guy and he says he's straight, he's down low. If you don't like down low men, don't mess with him. Don't get involved in him. Don't work with him because of your integrity. So just leave him alone. You cannot force anybody to come out, and it's not going to wait. Well, I'm going to wait a month or two or a year. He's going to fall in love. He's going to come out. That is fairy tale, and that is delusional talk. But people play these games all the time, and then they want to play victim. You're not no victim. You know what you signed up for. So I say all that to say he has a lot of allegations around him. And then it was a recording that came out recently of Shannon Sharpe, and it sounds like he was involved with a woman. You heard, the freaky noises, and it was on Instagram Live, and people felt that he put that out there purposely to stop the zesty rumors. If you know anything about down low men, when they're being accused of being gay, they will do something like get a girl pregnant, like marry a female, get in a relationship with a woman, go to church, get saved, get delivered, so they can stop the zesty rumors, because they fear that truth will get out, and they don't like that part of themselves. They battle a lot with who they are, and they don't want to be that. But then again, they enjoy the flesh and the lust of it. But majority of times, it's just lust, and they don't have control of their flesh. So that's the issue that they always will bear. But yeah, so I brought that up. Do you guys remember that recording that went out of Shannon Sharpe and this woman? People was like, "Oh, this is made up. This is fake. He's pushing this." Some people really believed it. Some people didn't. And the average straight man, "Oh, dog, you did it. You did it. You did it." As if that validates him manhood. It's always been in this community, or the Black community, that you introduce a boy to a man when he gets some vajayjay. That's a honor badge. So when guys see guys hitting women, and getting that vajayjay, it's like, okay, you're a man again. Okay. And oftentimes they see a zesty man as not a real man. And I'm sure you guys have heard that plenty of times before. So, those rumors of him being zesty, they started to fade away. He got rid of Hollywood, his assistant, and that went away. So he can really focus on his career. I mean, do you blame him? I guess I can't blame him, considering his number one goal is to keep his career. And they tell me that he's in a position he never thought he would be in. I mean, he's over there talking like he's Wendy Williams. And so, I mean, I don't see the specialty in him, but he's very popular. And nowadays, it's not really about the talent that you have. It's more so popularity. If you're very popular, you can pretty much do anything. I mean, Shannon Sharpe, he can come out with the album and it would sell because of his popularity. And that is the way of the world that we live in right now, is popularity rules over any and everything. And I brought that up too, because the girl that's in the case, the girl that is suing Shannon Sharpe, says that they met at the gym. Okay. She said that Shannon Sharpe, they have not revealed her face yet, but people are assuming that she's Latino or she's Caucasian. And I will tell you why. But she said that they met at the gym. Okay. And she said that initially she was not that interested in him, but he was more consistent. And he said, I'm not going to take no for an answer. Okay. And it was almost sounded like he was on a hunt to be with the woman, regardless, because he needed to get away from these zesty rumors. And I'm also thinking someone else told me that, he has a reputation of being around young boys, young men. And I'm not talking about boys like teens, but I guess, 30 and below, 30 to 21. I'm not sure how Hollywood is. Is he like 35? I'm not sure. But I know he's probably like 20 years younger than, Shannon Sharpe. So people are also noting that, you know. But going back, she said they met at the gym and she was not initially attracted to him, but he was more aggressive and he was like, I'm not gonna take no for an answer. And he was really like pursuing her. So she said eventually she gave in and he wanted her to sign like an NDA to come over his house, but she would not budge. She said she's not doing it. Eventually, he said, "Okay, you don't have to sign an NDA." And then they were involved and they were like in this dating relationship thing. She says she felt betrayed when she heard that recording of this girl on the live, that same live stream I was telling you guys about. She said that wasn't her, that was another girl, and she felt betrayed. She also stated that, it was times where she did not want to do anything with him, and he used all his muscles and his intimidation to do what he wanted to do. I'm assuming maybe he was trying to rewrite his manhood. When everybody in the world is calling you zesty, a lot of times men take that as they're not a man, you know? And like I said before, in this community, to be a man, you have to be with a woman. To be a man, you have to get into some vajayjay. I mean, oftentimes these guys that will give some head, they will be on a pickle. And then after the pickle, they will get some kitty cat so they can revalidate their manhood. Okay. Almost like when you sin and then you ask God for forgiveness and you go to church when you don't go to church, or almost like when a guy cheats on a girl or his wife, and then he brings his wife all these flowers and he's being extra nice to her. That is a way to say, hey, forgive me for my wrongs, even though he does not tell her, he does not speak it, because a lot of them, they don't want to be accountable and they just feel like certain gestures will make up for the things that they have done in the past. All right. So that's what it sounded like. But she said that he did, really was aggressive and essayed her. And it was horrible. And that's why she is speaking out now. Now, Shannon Sharpe, he has fired back and he put out text messages, but it was just one sided. It wasn't, I didn't see the full text messages, but in these text messages, she states that she wants $25,000 for each of her cheeks. She states that she wants Shannon Sharpe to give her a big black baby. Okay. They are saying that they are into race play. And yeah, some people feel a certain way about that, but I guess it's a kink where you want to use your race. I know a lot of you guys say we should stop talking about color. You can't talk about color. Well, they're going to focus on color while they're intimate with each other. So you will hear a lot of white this or black this. And I don't know if it was one way or two way, because Shannon Sharpe, he didn't put the full text messages. He only put her text messages. I'm curious to see what text message did he say, or if he sent any at all. But she constantly says she want a big black baby. Okay. So seems like she was trying to get pregnant. Okay. Also, Shannon Sharpe put her on blast, stating that she wanted to eat his donut. Now, you guys know what I mean when I say donut, okay? I can't say certain things, but use your imagination. You see a donut and you know it got that small hole. What that small hole remind you of? Yeah. So she says she wants to really go round and round and up and down in a chocolate donut of his. And he put that out there to shame her and embarrass her, to just to say, hey, she wanted this type of kinky stuff. And she's stating that, yeah, she wanted that type of freaky stuff, but not always. It was times where she didn't want to. And he did the impossible. And Tony Busby is working on this case. Tony Busby is working for the girl. You guys remember Tony Busby? He kind of lost in the Jay-Z case. He also went after Diddy. And people are saying Tony Busby, his reputation is shot because he always get these women that lies for the lawsuit. So people are looking at Tony Busby as like, what are you doing? Is this real or is it not? But Tony Busby says a woman can tell you yes 99 times, but that one time she told you no, you have to respect that. And when you cross that line that one time, then that's when you're breaking the law. So Shannon Sharpe, giving us these receipts of how she is and how they are in this type of situation, it just proves that, they were very out there when it comes to things that they do in the bedroom, but it does not prove that he did not do the unthinkable to her, That's all, because like Tony Busby said, she can say yes 99 times, but that one time, if she said no, then that's what it is. But I guess he also trying to paint a picture that she wanted money, that she was upset that he did not give her the $25,000 that she was asking for in the text messages. And that is what a lot of people are leaving with. They're leaving with, hey, she was trying to get money, $25,000, and he wouldn't budge. So therefore, that's why he sent a lawsuit. Okay. I do have videos to show you guys as well. I'm going to bring Kimmy up here at this time. Hey, Kimmy, how are you?
Hey, Gigi. Thank you so much for having me on your panel.
Thank you for coming. So, what are your thoughts just initially? Let's just talk about this. What are your thoughts about this?
First of all, I don't want to jump too soon, but from listening to you and hearing, reading what Shannon Sharpe put out, I'm questioning in my mind, why would he jump so quickly? The lawsuit just came out yesterday. Now, if it's not true, then you let your lawyers deal with it. But he's trying to weigh this in public opinion. And he's putting this young girl on blast. He started dating her when she was 19 years old. He's what, 56 years old?
That's a red flag.
A huge red flag. I remember when I was in my 20s and older men would try to date me. And it's like they were trying to have control over me. And reading some of these text messages, it's like he wanted to have a little girl. I'm not saying, she was 19, so she was legal age.
But hold on, I want to talk to you guys about that.
Go ahead.
Even if she's legal, mentally she's not. Her brain is still developing. It is something very awkward for a man up in his upper 50s that have all this money, that have all this influence, to prey on a 19-year-old girl that's at the gym. He wanted somebody that was naive. He wanted someone that he can take advantage of and manipulate, because I still believe that he really does not want to be with a woman. But that's just my opinion. Go ahead, Kimmy.
I don't believe that either. He's been sued, 24 times, and he settled 23 times out of the 24. That's, how you do how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so you've had 24 lawsuits and you settled 23 times. The lawsuit just came out yesterday. And what about the text messages he sent? He just sent the text messages she sent, but what was his reply?
That's a big red flag for me.
Me too. I want to know what he said.
To be transparent and honest, show us everything. But it seems like he's not. And Shannon, you knew this was coming and you were quiet. He gives me, he's another Diddy, honestly.
I totally agree with you. But I mean, the lawsuit probably will probably be coming out either tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, like the documentation. So we'll be able to see exactly what happened. But as far as now, I mean, I don't think Tony Buxby will come out with something like this if it was not true and if he didn't have all his ducks in a row. You all know Tony Buxby is a um prior serviceman. He was a Marine. And so Marines, I just really believe this man has integrity because I was in the service before. So when I look at a man like that, of course I'm going to believe, like, if he's coming forth with a victim, a potential Jane Doe that says that she has that sort of evidence, because it's supposed to be videos. Now they're saying that Shannon Sharpe altered the videos. Why would he be videoing her in the first place? She wasn't even aware that he was videoing her.
I feel like he videotaped her, and you're right. Kimmy is talking about Shannon Sharpe, this 50-year-old man that could be her grandfather. Okay,
Granddaddy.
could be the granddaddy. Videotaped her and then show it to his homeboys. I feel like he showed it to the men to say, "Hey, I'm not zesty. I am a heterosexual. I want to be down with the boys. And look what I did, you know?" So that's what I think it is. But I don't think that Shannon Sharpe can really value a woman and marry a woman and treat her like a woman and have a lasting relationship with a woman because he don't want women. I mean, it's just simple as that. He used this 19-year-old girl as a beard to cover up his secret.
Then he allegedly raped her in January. Now, this was after that little video that came out with the girl named Michelle, and I think he playing that. I mean, that's just me. I think he playing it because you can't go live on Instagram without going through those prompt tools. Like, there's no way.
And
There's
that's
no way.
another thing about him, Kimmy. He is a liar.
I believe
that, it just happened. He is a liar. He's a scammer. He's not to be trusted.
So allegedly he raped her after she supposedly has saw the video that came out because she said that he cheated on her, and he came and he allegedly picked her up, took her back to his place, and did these hideous things with her. This was in January. What are we in? April now?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a quick turnaround. And I would be going after him for $50 million too. He got it.
I'll go after him for more. I do. That's why he tried to put her out as, she's like race play and role play. The picture that, yeah, possibly he did it, but she wanted it because this is how we play around. Why are you playing around with a 19-year-old girl? You're supposed to be uplifting her, telling her, you don't have to put your body up here like this. Why does she feel comfortable to tell grandfather, I will lick your donut? I mean, it's something about you as a man that allow her to think that that was okay. Because she's not going to go around random men to say that, because a lot of men don't even play in that back door area.
I was thinking that when you said that about the back door, I'm like, why would he allow her, one, to send a text message? Let's say it didn't happen and she texts him that. Why would you still be keeping up communication with her? Like, you know what she liked to do. Why? And you don't,
he likes
it.
And she also stated that, the essay, it was in her donut, so he has a thing about donuts. He preferred donuts more than the front.
I agree. So I believe he wanted to see. I believe what happened last year with the Michelle girl, I believe that was to throw people off because so many rumors was going on around him that he was zesty. So now he has to get a real woman now, because so many people was calling him out on this stuff. So now he had to go back to this ex-girlfriend or girlfriend or whoever she was and go back and get this young girl. And she don't want to have anything to do with him. I mean, let's face it. She was a sugar baby. She was a sugar baby. I mean, what more could he offer her?
Nothing.
I mean,
And
nothing.
he didn't want her. And Kimmy, I don't know if you saw the photos of Shannon Sharpe with his zesty stylist, how they were sitting close
Yes.
together on the ride.
Courtside.
They were sitting close together at basketballs, dressing together. Come on. Ain't no heterosexual man is going to do all that, especially in the Black culture, with openly homosexual that's feminine. It's just not going to happen. But he felt very comfortable in his skin. And this was before he blew up. And it seemed like once he started to blow up as Shannon Sharpe on the podcast, he started to feel like, you know what, I may not can come out, you know. Maybe he had to change some gears, you know. So he was giving it like, what's wrong with me being with an openly gay stylist? Everybody got an openly gay stylist. And to me, that makes me realize that he's not relatable to the general public because he lives in a different world. He lives in a Hollywood. In Hollywood, you can be openly gay, engaged with all this, and nobody cares because that is just regular lifestyle for them. But in the average world with us, I mean, we see things differently. So I feel like he just did not realize what he was giving to the general public. He didn't understand that.
For some reason, I just don't understand, why does he have a problem? Because we live in a world now to where so many people are coming out. I mean, if you are like that, so what? Most people don't really care. So
I just
what is
for me, I think that especially straight men, they do care. I think that they have pushed and they sold people on people don't care. But I feel like that is a setup. People do care, and people are becoming more conservative, and they are pushing more conservative now. We are in a Trump administration, and one of the people that they're going to target, you know, immigration and LGBT, those two groups are on the front lines. They want men to be men again. And what they mean by that is men wanting a woman. They want to bring back the family, the heterosexual family, where you see a man and a woman and kids. They want to push for that. And, you know, two men being together, it's just not traditional. Their mind is not making America great again. So, you know, there's that. So I think that the dream that the LGBT was pushing, it sounded good, but it was forced and it wasn't reality. And I think that Trump administration has bust that bubble. So, you know, if I was him, I can understand why he would want to get with a woman, but I feel like he did it the easy way out. If I was him, I would get a woman that's in her 40s and I would let her know what's going on. And we would have like a Jada and Will Smith type of relationship where she's understandable. She's going to come with me. She's intelligent. But he did the most predatorial thing. He did a gross thing. He got a 19-year-old that did not know anything. And he manipulated her. A 19-year-old versus a 54 millionaire. Come on, the power dynamic is day and night.
Wow. Just thinking about everything. He wanted her to sign an NDA. She declined. Why would you want her to sign an NDA? And then after she did not sign it, he continued on. Shannon is a sick individual, allegedly. He's a sick individual. Someone said he is country. Yeah, he's country. Wow.
Well, I do have this video. Let's react to this. I'm going to put this up here. They are talking more in detail about it.
Jane Doe's allegedly victimized by the music mogul has a new target in his sights. NFL legend Shannon Sharpe. A brand new lawsuit was just filed in Nevada claiming Sharpe was manipulative and abusive and eventually sexually assaulted a Jane Doe, with the latest claims allegedly happening as recently as January. We got our hands on the filing and we're going to break down everything you need to know. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime.
Okay, I would like to read these comments as well, because I do want to engage with you all to build more of a community here. And I did put a link at the top of the chat. So if you guys want to come up here and have a dialogue with us respectfully, we really welcome that. Someone says they wait for these Black men to build and then they go after all the money they have. This was planned and plotted. Black man can't see not following God ordinance. I hear what you're saying. I think you're playing a victim, and I disagree with that. Shannon went after this 19-year-old girl. Shannon went after this 19-year-old girl. Shannon went after this 19-year-old girl. She said no multiple times. He still pursued her. Shannon went after this 19-year-old girl. A 54-year-old Black man versus a 19-year-old girl. Who's setting up who? This 54-year-old Black man is preying on innocent, young-minded 19-year-olds that he can take advantage, so he can do all types of freak off stuff with her, so he can videotape her and share her with his friends to prove that he's not zesty. He used her. He used her. This was his doing. So for you to sit there and try to play victim, it's bull crap. It is definitely bull crap. If he's this Black man with all this money, he should have moved smarter. Why is he prying on a 19-year-old? Why is he doing the things he doing, how he moving? He pulled this on himself. He's not a victim. He's a grown man. He's been in the industry for what, 30, 40 years. He should know better. Hell, he makes Black men look bad. He makes the Black community look bad. And yet you want to twist it to baby him, to make him feel like a victim. That is why he does what he does, because he counts on people like you that are sheep that is going to treat him like a victim. But if he knew that people would hold him accountable, he wouldn't even look at a 19-year-old girl, because he's like, you know what? If she tries to say anything, it's not going to go in my favor. I have my career. I have to focus. I cannot take a chance on that, because my people are going to hold me accountable. But he know you're not. So you do them no service. No service when you baby them and you want to play victim and you want to cry. Oh my God, they're coming after the Black man. Well, tell the Black man to stop doing wrong, and they won't have nothing to come after them for. And then, well, the white man do it. Well, you ain't the white man, now are you? Be accountable for yourself. Stop trying to add any and everybody else in the conversation. What about you, Black man? Don't you want to be the leaders of your people? But you worried about, well, they do it. You want to just get away with what they getting away with, which is evil doing. And you want to be protected? I will not. But Cammie, what are your thoughts about that?
He could have. I just saw Danielle said he could have gotten a paid escort. I was thinking the same thing. He could have paid someone 35, even 40 years old. Hey, I want you to make appearances with me. I want to do this sort of type of sex. This is what we got going on. This is what I'm going to pay. Oh, well, he wouldn't have had any problems. But no, it's like he wanted to play a cat and mouse game. I mean, he still had to give her something, but he figured she was young and she was dumb, and she was going to let him do whatever he wanted to do with her. And I think that's wrong.
Exactly.
Her prefrontal cortex not even formed. What, that don't form at 25, right? She's a baby. Her brain not even put together right now.
That's right. That's right. Someone says, who wants to mimic the white man? I say that because oftentimes I hear the excuse, well, the white man do it and they get away with it. Why can't we? So if you're saying that, that means that you want to do what the white man does. You want to have the same privilege that the white man does. You want to get away with the crimes like the white man does. That's you mimicking the white man. What part don't you get that? But Cammie, what are your thoughts about that?
Just because you have money don't mean you white. I mean, Shannon Sharpe is still a black man. And so black people, let's not forget, we can't do what white people do, right or wrong. I mean, we still living in the world. I mean, the world has progressed a lot, but still, Shannon Sharpe can't be like the white man, nor can anybody else. And just because well, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna keep my mouth closed.
And Kimmy, the world has progressed a lot, but we also have to realize we're in a new world in the Trump administration, and we are going backwards, and we're going to make America great again, meaning that we're going back into the past. And the history and African histories are being wiped as we speak right now. Like I said, I stated that comment because oftentimes you hear they say, well, that clear man, he did this and he got away with it, and y'all ain't had nothing to say to him. So let that black man do the same crime and don't say nothing to him either, because that clear man did it. Yeah.
I mean, well, look at the case with, and I don't know if you want me to talk about this, but look at the case with Carmelo Anthony. Just see if the roles were reversed. We may not be talking about the same situation here. I mean, just because black people don't have the same privileges as white, we just don't.
And you would never have the same privileges.
Mm-mm.
Please just stop the fairy tale and the dream. Yes, maybe Biden and Obama, they gave you guys this fantasy dream that we all can sit at the table and be equal. They were pushing for that, but that is a huge fight, and that's a huge battle that takes a long time. You can't just drop, this paperwork and go into law and think that people are not going to fight against it. You have to continue to fight. And oftentimes I hear you win something or you got law and you think, okay, we don't got to fight no more. You don't want to fight no more. I got news for you. You will always have to fight. As long as you live, you will always have to fight. And if you into religion, Satan is going around the the world to and fro to seek who he can devour. Do you think he sleeps? Do you think he got breaks? No. If he don't take no break, you don't take no break. Because as soon as you take a break, that's when you slipping, and that's when they're going to get your butt. So I'm sorry to tell you, as long as you live, you're going to always have to fight for something in this world.
I agree.
All right, so I'll continue to play.
Jesse Weber. Tony Busby's back. The lawyer who went after Sean Combs, Jay-Z, we'll talk about that. Well, he is still swinging at high-profile men that he claims are abusers. This time, he's calling out Shannon Sharpe, the 56-year-old NFL superstar turned podcaster and commentator. Brand new lawsuit filed against Shannon Sharpe. We got a copy of it right here. It was filed out in Nevada. We're going to go over it. But Shannon Sharpe, in case you don't know who he is, he played 14 seasons in the NFL with the Denver Broncos, the Baltimore Ravens. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2011. After he retired, he spent time as a sports commentator and analyst. You might remember that he co-hosted Skip and Shannon Undisputed with Skip Bayless from 2016 to 2023. Bayless and his then employer, by the way, Fox Sports, they faced their own accusations of sexual misconduct in a separate filing from earlier this year. We covered it here on Sidebar as well. Now, Sharpe is part of the sports podcast space.
And I want to say this too. Kimmy, did you catch they said the other clear guy, he was facing allegations as well? It tells me it's a culture of men that think this is okay to do to women. And they prey on young girls and they think it's okay. And it's a cultural thing. That's what I think in my mind. What are your thoughts about that?
I don't know what to think about that. I'm looking at another angle right now, Gigi, about some business deals Shannon Sharpe got going on. And
tell us.
Well, what I'm looking at, Shannon Sharpe is negotiating $100 million deal. And this could potentially exceed his NFL career earnings. And so I'm just going to keep researching this because, they always say when black men, I love to look at both sides of the coin. They always say when black men try to, like when Bill Cosby tried to buy, what was that media company he tried to buy? Then all these allegations started to come out against him. So I'm just looking at it from a different angle. Like, could someone be trying to set him up? Who knows? Do I believe the girl? I kind of do believe the girl, but I'm still side-eyeing, because Shannon Sharpe has gotten pretty big over the past few years. He's making a lot of money. He has a lot of endorsement deals. I do believe he's zesty. I do believe that. But, they do try to keep black men down. They do.
Okay, so I think your point, and help me if I'm getting this right, you feel that, once a black man elevate to a certain level, that the clear people is watching him and collecting all his wrongdoings. So therefore, when he get to a certain level, they say, aha, I got you. Let's not forget
That's
about
good.
the stuff that you
That's
have
it.
done. So let me put your ass back down, okay? Because we've been watching you do a lot of crimes. So when you get to a certain level and you think you can cross that threshold, we have to remind you by the crimes that you have committed.
I think you just hit it right there. I said a portion of it, but you put it together, because you can think about Diddy. How did Diddy get away with it so long? Somebody was keeping tabs on him all along. They've been keeping tabs. And it's like, you're getting too big. It's time to pull the rug from under you now.
Yeah, and I agree. I definitely agree with that. Diddy got caught up because of the liquor company. He sued the liquor company, and he also put some race stuff in there. So that's what his downfall. So they pulled all of his cards. And I think you're absolutely right. They'll pull the rug up under you. And Shannon is getting his rug pulled up under him. So if we go with that narrative, do you side with Shannon or don't? Do it make it right or not? Where do you go with that?
No, I still don't side with him, just because you've been doing your evil deeds all this time, and now they're gonna pull the rug. I mean, you reap what you sow. It's gonna come back. I mean, you can do dirt in the background, but it's gonna come up some kind of way or another. I mean, it's too many celebrities that have been around forever, and their stuff is just now beginning to come out. And it's like, yep, we finally caught you. So no, I mean, you reap what you sow. He had it coming.
I think that black men have to be always remind themselves, you're not like them.
That's right.
You cannot get to do all this stuff. You have to have a higher integrity. And I feel like they get so comfortable because of money and classism. They feel like I'm one of them now. They see me one of them now because we're making the same money. They making more money than the clear people, so they feel like, hey, they are accepted. They're validated. Nothing can go wrong because I'm doing what y'all doing here, until the rug get pulled up under them to remind them, hey, you're not like us.
That's right. I agree. I totally agree. So I don't know. This may be the end of Shannon Sharpe, and it's probably going to be some more women to come out. I guarantee it's not just one. It's not just one.
I know a different political side. Some women, black women, may feel that you shouldn't have went to the other side. If you were to stay with a black woman, then possibly this would not go on because black women don't have that reputation of betraying their men. However, the black men do have a horrible reputation of betraying black women. What are your take on that?
I believe a black woman not going to take. A black woman's not going to take what another race will, and that's why there are so many successful black men coming out saying, we would rather date whites or Hispanics, because black women gonna get you lit. You're not gonna talk to them any kind of way. There was a celebrity, I think it was Trick Daddy, who stated he had put out 2 text messages. Did you hear about that? When Trick Daddy had texted a white woman and he texted a black woman, and he texted both of them the exact same thing. And he said that he wanted them to go get him some breakfast. Well, the black woman was like, well, you need to pay for this and you need to pay for that. Now, the white woman was like, well, I'll be over there at such and such a time. So he was making a comparison like, this is why black men talk to white women, because white women, they are more susceptible to fix us a sandwich in bed or do this. Black women, they like, no, What you gonna do for me? So I don't believe Shannon Sharpe could have done it. In my opinion, I don't think he could have done that to a black woman because she's gonna want the coins.
So you're saying black women's standards are higher?
Very higher, I think.
But also, to flip the coin, it definitely feels like if you with a black woman, she would not betray you in the way that the Latinos and the clear women will betray you when it comes to the lawsuits.
Not all black women. Now you got some that may.
Like, I haven't seen any black women that have, sued. Well, can you help remind me what black women's out there? Because Cassie, she's not black. What black women have really sued these big celebrities they've been intimate with on the scale as Cassidy or this girl right here?
I haven't known not one. Even with Kobe Bryant, she wasn't even, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. But when Kobe Bryant got into that legal trouble, she wasn't black, even with, except for Robin Givens. I was about to say Mike Tyson. But Robin Givens.
Blame Robin Givens if he's knocking her up, hitting her head.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But she was the only one that I really can remember.
And she got dogged out for protecting herself.
She did.
When he was supposed to protect her, but clearly he was hurting her.
I don't know of a black woman that will. So I guess it's been proven that black women won't do it. No, we will protect our men.
Women have high standards. They expect more from you, but they're very loyal. And sometimes it can be loyal to their not benefit. Like, it can hurt them, and it have hurted them plenty of times.
That's true.
But yeah. But all right, let's continue to play. Put this up here.
He hosts two shows, Club Shay Shay and Nightcap. In fact, you remember his interview with comedian Cat Williams in January 2024 on Club Shay Shay? That helped spark, I should say, a renewed interest in Sean Diddy Combs and his alleged bad behavior at his infamous parties. Got a lot of people talking.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times.
All right, I'm going to fast forward this, but you guys know what it is. Sometimes Shannon, he gets mad when certain YouTubers talk about him.
Of abuse. Because on Monday morning, Texas attorney Tony Busby announced on his Instagram that he'd filed a $50 million lawsuit in Nevada court against Sharpe. On Instagram, he wrote in part, "I'm extremely proud to represent Jane Doe. It takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, fame, and money. I look forward to pressing this case in court." So we're going to go over this, but I want to first bring in John Clune, civil attorney who litigates on behalf of survivors of sexual abuse and sexual assault. John, so good to have you. And again, this is kind of breaking news. I didn't have an opportunity to fully go through this lawsuit, so you and I are going to break this down in basically real time. When we saw this early this morning, it was a shock to us. What was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction was the timing of it, to be honest. Before I read the lawsuit, just the timing of it for it to be filed, on Easter Sunday, that struck me as an unusual move. But then as I went through the lawsuit, the allegations are pretty disturbing. We don't know if they're true or not, but what's written in the complaint is pretty terrible stuff.
John, I have to say, to go after Shannon Sharpe, if you're Tony Busby, after what just happened with Jay-Z, remember, he filed that lawsuit on behalf of a Jane Doe, a woman who claimed that she was 13 years old back in 2000 and was sexually assaulted by Jay-Z. That lawsuit was dropped, and it came after serious questions of her story and credibility surfaced, both by reporting by NBC News and evidence that was presented by Jay-Z's side. Jay-Z ended up suing this woman, suing Tony Busby as well. So now to go after Shannon Sharpe, another high-profile figure, does that tell you that he feels he has the evidence in this case?
Well, Mr. Busby is a pretty bold mover in this space. I mean, he seems to not be, shy about his decision making. So it could mean that he's got the goods in this particular case, or it could just be, kind of par for the course, and this is how he, handles his high profile cases.
But you know, and me and I know, you can't just file a frivolous lawsuit. You can't file a lawsuit to harass somebody. You have to believe the law, the facts. There's, there has to be some semblance of facts that you put forward in a complaint that pass a motion to dismiss test. So he has to feel that he might not have all the evidence right now, but he has to feel confident in Jane Doe's account, right? Otherwise, he'd be breaking ethics rules.
Yeah, and the thing with these accounts, like in a sexual assault, just a Jane Doe against an individual, is it's really hard to get rid of that case on a motion to dismiss, or even down the road on a motion for summary judgment. Because if you have your client who's saying, this is what happened to me, and then in this case, say Mr. Sharpe says, no, that's not what happened, it was very different, that's really a trial issue. That's not something a judge is really going to dismiss on motion. So other types of cases that have more subtle elements to them maybe can get dismissed on motion, but this kind of thing is really hard for a defendant to get rid of short of trial.
By the way, our content shows just how rampant crime is right now, and that is especially true with cybercrime. Cybercrime growing more dangerous and widespread. It threatens businesses like never before. I mean, did you know that in 2024, 1 in 5 businesses fell?
All right, and just want to take a break. Kimmy, what are your thoughts?
I believe that from what was just discussed, that they believe that Tony Busby would not come forth if he didn't have the goods. And I feel the same way. I believe he has something. I believe he has a smoking pew pew. I believe she has some sort of incriminating evidence against him, because why would he present the lawsuit if he had nothing? He has to have more than what Shannon Sharpe is saying.
But not only that, Kimmy, you stated earlier in the show that Shannon Sharpe, he had over 23 lawsuits against him?
24 and settled 23.
4 and settled 23. Do you know how many other men and women is about to come out against Shannon Sharpe? I mean, this is going to be another Diddy situation. And I feel like Shannon, he's a freak. He is out there like Diddy. He likes to do very awkward things in the bedroom like Diddy, So it's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to come out about Shannon Sharpe. And if Tony Busby, he definitely have the media machine behind him. When he talked about Diddy, every day was Diddy, 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 Diddy. So Shannon's about to get that work.
He getting ready to get railroaded. I believe it's gonna be men and women coming out against him. I do.
Did you hear the statement that Shannon made a mistake and said last night on his show?
No, I didn't hear that.
He said, and I will play the clip, but I can't, just because he is very funny acting when people using the clip, like me and Tasha K. He said that people have an issue because I like younger men.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Press 1 if you guys also saw that video when he was talking about that on his podcast last night. Press 7 if you missed it. And some YouTubers even, talked about that. I can see if I can pull that up so you guys can see the residue of it. But yeah, it came out his mouth that he liked younger men. Okay. What are your thoughts about that? But then he retracted it because he said he didn't realize he said it.
Oh, he realized it. Listen, Shannon Sharpe is not like me. Like, I'm not media trained. Remember, he was in the NFL. He's media trained. He was on the Skip Bayless show. He knows what he's going to say before he says it. He knew exactly what he was going to say.
Makes a mistake and say he likes men.
I believe the truth just came out. I believe it just came out.
A straight man made a mistake and say they like men.
A straight man's not going to make a mistake. He's not going to make a mistake like that because he's not thinking it. He's not thinking that. He's thinking about young women. Women. He's not thinking about a man. No. Wow.
Well, let me the residue of it because I can't play people clips. But if you look here, you see a podcast, and do you see the title? The title states Shannon Sharpe said he wants to date younger men. Okay. And this is another clip. Shannon Sharpe wants to date younger men. And look at the time. This was posted 17 hours ago by the Star Report, then 11 hours ago, 4 hours ago. So it is making its rounds. Yeah, it's making its rounds. And then right after that, which he said last night, then this morning, we heard about the lawsuit. So, and the lawsuit was telling us that Shannon likes it in the donut. He is obsessive over the donut. So all things point that and the thing is too, Kimmy, even though if he came out as Zesty, would he get this job he getting? Most likely not. I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. But he wouldn't have to go through all this humiliation. I mean, I would think this has to be very humiliating to him to have this rumor and to have his truth circling around and knowing who he is and knowing the things he have done in the past, and possibly because he got rid of those 24 lawsuits, 23 lawsuits in the past. Now he's probably comfortable. It probably felt like it's a walk in the park after you get, when you first, I've never robbed the bank, but I would imagine when you first rob a bank, you're gonna be nervous. Second time, you probably be nervous, but then after the 10th time you rob that bank and nothing happened, I think maybe you get comfortable. What are your thoughts about it all?
I agree. I totally agree. Like, look at Diddy, allegedly. Look at how many people he alleged to have violated. I mean, I'm pretty sure because I heard things swirling around in the 90s about Diddy. Like, he liked young boys and all this, allegedly. And now everybody knows about it. He didn't care. He didn't care who he messed with, who he abused. And you could say the same goes with Shannon. 24 lawsuits. You would think after the 5th one, you'll start to be a little more careful. But he figured, I got money. Nobody's going to believe this young girl. Is her word against mine. I'm Shannon Sharpe. He a big daggone deal. So he think.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you guys know, but Shannon Sharpe, he's been beefing with other people. Shaq O'Neal was going around trying to get evidence of Shannon being, zesty. He said whoever got evidence of Shannon being zesty, he gonna pay them X amount of dollars. And Shannon, they said, he's a gossip queen, a king. He loves to gossip and run his mouth and stuff like that. So, people also paint that picture too, of a feminine trait. So, what are your thoughts about that?
Now that's new information about
Shaq.
Shaq. Yeah, that's new information to me. I've always thought he was zesty. I don't believe people just making up rumors on him. I believe it. I agree with everything you're saying. I do. And it's just a matter of time before everybody comes out and drop the ball on him.
All right, so this is some residue. Here it is. Shaq wants to expose this about Shannon Sharpe cheeks. And you see Shannon Sharpe, they displayed him with a woman wig and makeup. This was 3 weeks ago. So he have always had these rumors circulating around him, as you guys can see.
So what is the situation between Shaquille O'Neal and Shannon Sharpe? Why is there beef between the two?
I'm not sure. I have to look more into that. But Shannon Sharpe, he had beef with Mike Epps. So you remember that? And Mike Epps called him out as zesty as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, another Diddy. No wonder he felt so uncomfortable doing that interview with Cat Williams.
He was very uncomfortable with that interview. Wow, he was, because who knows what Kat knew? Because Kat knows everybody's secrets, seems like.
I think Kat didn't realize that Shannon was a part of the rainbow community until probably like in midway, when Shannon kept on trying to like gatekeep him from telling her the truth, because it seemed like Shannon didn't want to just let it all out. It seemed like Shannon felt like he felt convicted.
I agree. It's like he didn't want Kat to go into details with what he was saying. Like he was trying to prevent him from talking about certain things.
Yeah, because he felt convicted. He knew he was another Diddy.
Wow. Now that's deep. 2 years later. Wow.
And people were saying that the reason why Shannon Sharpe got that position is because he is zesty. Allegedly. Really? People have this conspiracy theories that they're not going to allow a straight man to exceed the way that certain other, I guess, discreet, zesty men, not a man that's out zesty, but someone that's discreet zesty that possibly plays behind the scenes with the higher ups, allegedly. If Shannon Sharpe like white and he like men, do you think it's possible he like white zesty men that got a lot of money that can put him in certain positions? I mean, he's been in the industry for a long time, and I'm sure a lot of clear, zesty men that's older probably fantasize about a big black man like Shannon.
Or maybe it's like Diddy with Clive Davis. Maybe it's a Clive Davis out there in the sports media world.
Of course they are. They are.
And maybe someone violated. Well, I don't say violated him, but maybe someone.
I don't paint Shannon as a victim. To me, he signed up for it, and I think he was about it because, like Cat Williams said, they could not pay him no amount of money.
That's true.
So I think Shannon, if it did happen, he was willing participant. He signed up to be one of a prostitute or whatever have you, and I don't think he had an issue with it. And possibly that's when he started doing it to other people as well. So I don't think Diddy had an issue with it either.
No, he didn't. Allegedly, no, he didn't. No, I believe Diddy. Well, there's no belief. He enjoyed it. He enjoyed it.
And I drink to that. I drink to that. So what other thoughts do you have about this? And if you guys have any thoughts out there, feel free to hit that link and come up here and join us. So I'm looking in the comment section. And do you see any questions or any comments you want to reply to, Kimmy?
Yeah, this Corey Broke. He said Kimmy's World and Peach DeLeon are team 1800. What do you mean? What is he talking about? Who is that?
I have no idea. I wouldn't feed it.
Peach DeLeon. I would love to hear what everybody else have to say about this. Do they think Shannon Sharpe is innocent? Or do you think he's guilty? Do you think he did this to this girl? Or do you think she's lying?
All right, so let's ask. Do you guys think that Shannon Sharpe is guilty of this? Press 1 if you feel like he's guilty. Press 2 if you feel like this woman is lying. This 19-year-old girl is lying on this 54-year-old rich man. Comment, let us know. I feel like, Shannon, you had no business being with a 19-year-old girl anyway. You too old and too grown to be doing all that wild, dark stuff with her and having a 19-year-old girl play race games with you. I think that's very dangerous. And you don't realize what you influence on that 19-year-old girl. I mean, she's legally, but she still have a child mind. That mind is of a child, and you're doing all this perverted things with her, race play with her. You showed us what she said about you, but what did you say to her? I'm sure the stuff that you probably said to her was probably really dark.
And why did he come out today and post those text messages? How come he just didn't get his attorney to just handle it? Why did he bring it to social media? What is he afraid of?
It reminds me of those pedos. I don't know if you know this, Kim, but when pedos get caught, they often try to play the victim and say the little girl was coming on to them,
Mhm.
wanted it, you know? And that's what it sounds like Shannon. Shannon is painting this picture like, look, she's like this. She wanted it, you guys. She wanted it. And that's the same thing pedos do. Even when it comes to a 7-year-old that they did something with, they would say, well, she wanted it. She kept on jump roping in front of me. She kept asking for candy. And they will play the victim, you know? So Shannon, the move that he made by just posting her text messages and not the full scope of anything, to me, it just makes him look even more guilty.
Me too. I agree. I agree with that. I definitely, because that was my first thing. Why did he put these out and where is his responses? So I believe he is afraid. I believe there is a smoking GUN. I believe it is.
Of course, especially Tony Bus.
Mm-hmm.
He can't stop, won't stop, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He is gonna continue to go, and he's very aggressive and very effective. If he can't take you down, he would definitely F up your reputation for sure.
That's right. That's right. Wow.
Shannon Sharpe, he's very sensitive about what people say about him. He claims that he's not, but he is.
His mother is still alive, isn't it? Because I believe he made a response when that video came out, supposedly about the girl Michelle, about him going live, saying he wouldn't do anything like that because of his mom.
I wonder what his mom think about him now.
Exactly.
I think his mom knows he's zesty.
She said, well,
So KM says, what are the dates of the messages from her? Do you know those dates, Kimmy?
I do. You want me to share my screen? Let me see. Let me pull them up first.
Okay.
And I could show, or do you want to show that on your channel?
I don't know. I know
Because
everybody.
it's real nasty.
Yeah, let's not do it. You got our word for it. I know all the other YouTube content creators, they always put the lawsuit up and read verbatim. You know, I just feel like it's not necessary. We don't have to go that same route. We can just tell you guys what's going on, and you just take our word for it. Trust
So
me.
the first text message is November 23rd, 2023. The second one is January the 12th, 2024. Now, you know it's not going to be that long before someone texts you. The third one, allegedly, is August the 6th, 2024. The fourth one is August the 11th, 2024. And that's it. That doesn't make sense. What happened to the rest? And there's
all you can give to make her seem like she's not a victim.
And there's no replies from him. Nothing. It's all she's saying she want to do to him. But what's his reply? How does she know whether or not to come over? How does she know whether or not to meet up with him?
And she stated in her lawsuit that he was following her. He was, you know, very aggressive towards her, you know.
And most straight men, from what she alleged happened, most straight men don't do that. They do not do that. They fearful of the back door.
They're not going to, they have no attraction. It's a big turn off. It's a big turn off. That's just like saying, would you lick some rat toes? Ew. What makes you think? If a guy talk about he's into mice and rats in the bed with him, with you, come on.
You gonna block? I'm gonna block his number.
No, but for him to say that, you gonna block his number, and for him to say that to you, either he's very weirdo, or you made him feel some type of comfortability where you were into that rat stuff too.
Yeah, I talked about it before.
and
Mhm.
you gave the idea that you're into
Mhm.
it. And clearly, this 19-year-old, most likely she was saying it as to please him because he is the more aggressive in that freaky department towards her because she's not even that attracted to him.
He's on a power trip because she was like in some of the text messages, she called him daddy. Like he's on a
Mhm.
power trip.
Yeah. She should be calling him granddaddy. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I couldn't imagine somebody looking like Shannon Sharpe. Because Shannon Sharpe, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm gonna keep my mouth closed. But they say Shannon Sharpe look like somebody. Have
No,
you heard of that?
Miss Nana, they look just like twins. Mhm.
I want to say that on your show. I want to, keep it cute.
Thank you for being respectful. Now you can say someone says, I believe the leak audio was staged. It was staged. He put it
Mhm.
out there so you guys will believe that he's a heterosexual. He don't want you guys to think he's zesty, you know? But he lied about it too. He said it was a mistake and all. He's a liar. You cannot trust these type of men. He's a liar. And if he just do right, I mean, just stop being so perverted. Just stop being so into this stuff, especially when you have the spotlight on you, you have to sacrifice certain activities that you're into, you know? If he was a nobody, but I feel like you still can't take advantage of somebody. I'm not saying that,
That's
don't
right.
get me wrong. But the lifestyle that he chooses to partake in and he's in a spotlight, eventually they will collide. But maybe people feel like they won't because a lot of people have done it and got away with it. Possibly. But Shannon Sharpe, he has a huge spotlight on him. He's not like a writer or a director. Directors, writers, they're famous, but they don't have a huge spotlight on them. And nowadays, I mean, people have the biggest spotlight on them ever. I mean, celebrities back in the day don't even have this much spotlight on them when it comes to influencers and celebrities today. Celebrities today, they have to tell their personal business every single day. Celebrities back in the day, they had a lot of mystery to them. You didn't know how they felt every other day. You just took them for the characters that they played in, and they did pictures, and that was pretty much about that. And when they did interviews, it was pretty much about the movie or whatever project they were talking about. But we didn't really know much. It was a mystery. But nowadays, these celebrities, they're oversharing, Jada, and they have a spotlight on them, and it's like the pressure just to be open and transparent. And Shannon, he's not transparent or open, but he tries to give that image that he is. But I think the bridge is falling down on him.
You know what? Philip put in a comment. The reality is that a lot of these athletes love indulging in their wildest fetishes once they get ahead of their bag. You know what? I agree. Get a hold of their bag. I agree because once you make so much money, just look at the Cat Williams interview, how much money that brought in. And that's not even endorsements like DraftKings and stuff like that on the show. But as much money Shannon Sharpe is bringing in, he can do whatever he wants. He can have like all these, I mean, whatever the mind can achieve, like I'm pretty sure he can say, okay, I want this and I want that. Why he had to take advantage of this girl behooves me. He's
It's
sick.
a
He's
power
sick.
trip. But
He's
you know
sick.
what, Tammy? You know who else I'm reminded of that do this
Mm.
stuff, have a whole bunch of money? Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard, he portrays he's a straight man, but he have so many lawsuits from gay men that are saying that
Yes.
Dwight Howard, he essayed gay men too. Like
Mhm.
he, aggressive like Shannon Sharpe and like Diddy. Like these men, they have a lot in common. They have the money,
Mm.
and they still want to take advantage and just feel like they're God and they can do whatever they want to do with people.
That's sick. That is sick. Power and control, someone say. I totally agree. Well, let's see how long it would take for social media to cancel Shannon Sharpe, if that's going to happen.
I don't know. I mean, people do have this ideology. They feel like they have to protect Black men because they feel like the industry is targeting Black men right now. So you do have that parade that's going on. You do have fans of his that, you know, just want to see the good in him and they don't want to believe in this. So we would just have to see, you know, it's going to be a ride and it's going to be a journey. But I just want to say thank you so much, Kimmy, for coming on and joining me. I want you guys to please follow Kimmy on her YouTube channel. Kimmy, can you let them know where they can see you?
Just go to Kimmy's World. And I just want to thank Gigi for allowing me to come on her platform. She's such a gracious host. She lets anybody come up here. She never knows what we're going to say. And I greatly appreciate it because you have a major platform. Gigi, I don't know if you know, I've been watching you for years, even before my YouTube journey. A long time. I'm serious.
Okay, I appreciate that. I didn't know, but now I do. All right, well, Kimmy, please come back anytime.
I will.
You guys, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.